Okay, so welcome to my live stream here of my Jets franchise. I actually started one the other day and then just realised we're so far into training camp now, there's been cuts and things made, so I'm actually going to change my change it around a little bit and start again. One of the things I really want to do, I really think I should do, is to just give me a moment to set this up, is to where's my live chat gone? Is to make it a bit more fair. I took in some free agents who I wasn't really pleased with, so I've decided to go back and change it a little bit. So I'm just setting my my stream up correctly through YouTube at the moment, so I'll just be 1 second and then I'll just want to make sure everything's running properly. There's just been a couple of times when I've done a couple of streams and I've found out later that it's a little bit rough around the edges, so I just want to make sure the stream's going at a good pace and that YouTube's receiving it properly. Okay, so it's definitely up and running. YouTube's analytics, how they work, aren't always the best. They seriously aren't. And when you're trying to get live information, I'm quite surprised sometimes. Twitch, you can generally get it pretty fast. And here there's a million bits to click and to go in, so I'm not going to bother you with it any longer because I don't know if anybody's watching or whatever, so I'd rather just get on with the stream. Nope, still saying I'm offline, but I'm not because I can see it running, so. Well, so, you can guess, I'm English. So, no, I don't know everything about the NFL and so on and so forth, but I've been a Jets fan all my life, unfortunately, which is not good at all, but that's how it is. So I get used to it. I get by day. So I'm going to start with the Jets franchise.
Start your season with recommended settings. If you wish to change roles or adjust options, use the tiles on the right.
So we're going to play preseason, and I'm going to be the owner. Okay. With other things, I'll be involved in the drafting and the hiring, so I'm kind of going to be somewhere between owner and coach. So I'll pick the owner slot, but I'll say that I'm going to be more like a general manager. I'm going to be the active owner. I'm not going to bother taking Woody out like he'd ever give it up. You can only wish. Actually, no, I might. No, I'll go with Woody.
Your season starts now.
So I noticed somebody jumped in and jumped out there. What viewing? We lost a viewer almost straight away. They probably just saw the Jets logo and thought, forget this, let's get out of Dodge.
Make sure your squad's ready to fire on all cylinders by prepping this week's game plan.
So, we're gonna have a look at the team, and we're gonna make some realistic moves. So if I think a move's realistic, I'm gonna make it. One of the things I didn't like is that in the auto roster that came with it, some players were available who just were better than what I had. They were better than what I had, so I kind of automatically traded the guys out, cut the guys, and put these other guys in. Like, I'm going to be honest with you at the moment. You look at the Jets. You look at the quarterback position in the Jets. It's pretty shocking. Okay, we've got McCowan, Petty, and Hackenberg. And if you've seen any preseason games from the Jets, you'll actually realise how horrible they are and how horrible they are going to be this season. I mean, this season is going to be a really, really horrible season. They're going to rely on the defense, and they're basically going to rely on two people, Williams and Wilkerson, and that's about it. We have some decent players in certain positions, but I'm going to be honest and say we don't have anybody who shines, apart from Leonard, Williams and Wilkerson. These are the only guys. McClendon's alright, certainly nowhere near an elite level yet. He's not far off, but he's not an elite player. And Wilkerson actually, on this roster that I've downloaded, isn't actually that elite, so he's kind of lost his shine. Sheldon Richardson, have got him here as a right outside linebacker, which I'm not sure why they've done that, but I don't know whether I should change his position, because I can actually do it. I can edit his position and switch Mohammed Wilkerson back to a DT and put Richardson back in there, which I probably will do, because surely that isn't the correct positions as far as I'm aware. In fact, I'm just actually going to look up Mohammed Wilkerson, because I'm absolutely sure he's not a right end. But I'll be honest with you, I wasn't paying much attention last season, so I might have changed his position. No, he's a D-end. So who the heck was the nose tackle last year? Can't remember who the defensive tackle was last year. It's going to drive me crazy now. And so, let me check Sheldon Richardson just to make sure that's okay as well. Well, he's a defensive end as well. Okay, so I might actually move Wilkerson across to my nose tackle anyway, and see how he gets on in there, because I'm really not happy with Sheldon Richardson at right outside linebacker. I really aren't. Doesn't make me feel comfortable. So let's have a look. My end. So I'm not going to edit players or anything like that in terms of, I'll have him down as an NT. I'm not going to edit anybody in terms of okay, and right outside linebacker, Sheldon Richardson, move him in at right end. I'm not going to actually change any of the physical stats of these players, just their positional. Is he speed rusher? Yeah, he's a speed rusher. Okay, save changes. So those will be my main changes. So let's have a look at the roster. Quarterback is in the worst position it can possibly be. Look, there's a lot of talk about what Christian Hackenberg is and what he could be. He has got a good quarterback style here, but I'm going to just be I'm just going to be honest and say that he's been horrible this pre-season in reality, and I don't know how hot he's going to be as the quarterback for this franchise, but I think for the first year I'm going to stick it out and see how the Jets do. Okay, so we've got a couple of guys at running back who are okay, Forte and Bilal Powell, so we might have to look at making our running game the most important thing. Fullback, terrible. Wide receiver, Quincy Onwenu, he's okay, far from elite. He's certainly not got the greatest awareness. His speed's okay. He's definitely not going to let us down in that department. Darius Stewart, I'm not too sure about at the moment. Jalen Marshall's another one. He's just not got elite speed, so maybe he's a third wide receiver or something like this. Love to see the back of Devin Smith. I might even cut Devin Smith just to bring in somebody younger, basically, because we've got plenty of people in here to fight for that position. We've got a ton of tight ends for the rookie camp who will fight it out, but I'm pretty sure that it's pretty much the guys you see at the top, the two guys at the top are going to take it, and everybody else is going to have to say goodbye. Left tackle, we could do with one guy improvement there, or we can switch one of these guys over, so I'll actually have a look at maybe try and switch Braden over to left tackle. Okay, and when I do switch players, I literally switch their position because I don't think it's fair doing it in the roster or in the depth chart. Just, lugging somebody in there. I prefer to do it as, okay, that's going to be your position for the year, that's what you're going to train towards, and that's what you're going to try and be. Then we've got Adams and Carpenter, who actually Carpenter's a really good backup. Adams is a really good backup if Carpenter gets injured. So we've got Johnson and Harrison. And this is another one that really gets me. These guys are pretty much succinct. They're the same. So Harrison's going to play backup to Johnson. Okay, Johnson shadows him by a few things, but he's going to be playing backup. So if he's playing backup, why not bring Nick Mangold back or somebody like this? Somebody who can really kind of bring him along. We've got a few right guards, but I'm guessing Craig Watts and Balducci will be seeing the door by the end of training camp. Same at the right tackle position. All these guys are kind of half decent, but not great. That'll be one to look out for because Lawrence Thomas is the Anthony Johnson is the easiest one to cut because we'll actually make physical savings by cutting him. So that's one to look out at. We won't be cutting any of them. DT will probably might keep an extra DT on this year just in case of injury or anything like that. Steve McClendon, 31. I mean, he's not even young, but he's a solid backup. We're looking at left outside linebacker, not a great position. Middle linebacker, again, not a great position. The Jets have basically let a few players go. They brought Demario Davis, I think, back. I'm sure Demario Davis played for the Jets before. So let me have a look. How the hell do you view the history? God, am I going to have to sit here on Wikipedia for the whole thing? How the hell do you see the player history? That's ridiculous. Yeah, I saw that. If anybody can tell me how you see the player's history, feel free to let me know in the chat, because I'm really not sure of how you go about that. So yeah, we've got Demario Davis, who's alright. He's not great. Carter's definitely over the hill, and he's not going to progress any further. Darren Lee's okay. He's going to be able to get better for sure. And Paysinger and Stanford are probably going to be saying goodbye at the end Although we are going to probably play 3-4, so we might need to keep a couple of backup. Lorenzo Maldin, he's alright. He's not great, but he's young. You know, hopefully if he gets some good upside. Josh Martin, he's okay, and Donahue, he'll probably be gone by the end of training camp. Cornerbacks, we've got an absolute plethora of cornerbacks, but none of them world class. This is a big problem. And some of them pretty much disgusting when it comes to things like their awareness. Burris, 60 awareness, Roberts, McDougall, all these guys are going to have to go because they just haven't, even though they're rookies. Maybe Jones will manage to keep in by the skin of his teeth purely because of his speed and acceleration. But if he does, it'll be purely by the skin of his teeth. Free safety position, I'm going to maybe try and upgrade here because I just don't think we've got anybody worth backing. You got Martin Jr. here, he's 24, he's got a lot of NFL football ahead of him, but at 63, I don't know. Here we have Jamal Adams, who this is the new kid out of LSU, and I think he's gonna progress fast and he's gonna progress strong. I've also got this kid Marcus May out of Florida. I am thinking of maybe putting May over at free safety and bringing Miles over to strong safety, because that'll give the kids at least something to work on. Kicker, I think we need to bring somebody else in to challenge for it, and even the punter, maybe bringing a couple of people to challenge for it. So I think these are really important roster moves that we have to make. So if I go to just like improve team and just look at the basic free agents to start off with, I'm going to be totally honest and say there's some tempting people to bring in. There's some really tempting people to bring in. However, trying to stay at least a little bit true to real life, I don't think I should be bringing them in. So for example, I immediately go to Griffin III and Kaepernick and think, well, you know, they're definitely a step up of what the Jets have at the moment, but there's a reason that in reality the Jets aren't bringing these guys in, and that's because the Jets think that they can train up their current guys. They think that Hackenberg could cut it, so they're not bringing anybody else in. I know they're also trying to save money. I'm guessing people like Kaepernick and Griffin want long-term contracts. At least I know Griffin would. So I'm not going to go in on the quarterback position. It's not one of the positions that I'm going to try and upgrade on. I'm just going to try and keep it real to how they're trying to do it. So let's have a look at that wide receiver position, see if there's anybody young. Well, we've got Marquise Wilson here, 24 years of age, awareness 77, that's alright. His speed's not great, it's okay, but it's not fantastic for a wide receiver. We've got this guy 2 stops down, we've got Green Beckham as well. His acceleration's really good. His agility's alright, strength not too important, catching's pretty good. Catching traffic's okay, spectacular catch is good. Route running 74, that's alright, he'll go up with a bit of awareness. His release isn't great, whereas Darrell Green Beckham has better release. So, but his jumping's really good, so I think I'm going to try and pick up Marquise Wilson. If I can, sign him to the active roster. Okay, so let's look in some other positions. I think centre was one I was looking at. Look, this is the thing about training young players. We've got Nick Mangold here. Now, I know in reality the Jets won't bring him back, unfortunately, which is really sad because this guy is just outstanding, and he's been 100% for the Jets operation since he first arrived as a rookie. So I'm a bit unhappy that the Jets in reality don't bring him back, because I think he's got something in him, and I think he'd play for the minimum contract personally in reality. So, you know, I don't know why the Jets are so against bringing him back in, and he's an amazing locker room influence. So let's have a look in the linebacking positions. We could definitely do with a little bit of an upgrade there, specifically at middle linebacker. Everybody here is quite old. Got Perry Riley Jr. might be able to give us something. Right outside linebackers, Trent Cole, it's nothing really big. Cornerbacks I'm going to stay away from, although I wouldn't mind bringing Darrell Revis back in. Because he was just outstanding as a Jet, but even though we'll save that $6 million next year, I don't know about bringing him back in. I don't think it's true to the game. If we were to bring him back, it's a bit over the hill. So, free safety, we're all sorted in those positions. Kicker, Mike Nugent's out there. Do you know what, actually, I'm going to go for kick accuracy. I'm going to sort that out straight away. And then kick power, and we're going to have a look at some based on this. So, anybody with upside, really. Taylor Bertolet has definitely some upside. He's pretty average at what he's doing, but as 24 years of age, he's got space to get better. Patrick Murray at 26, actually, has got a lot of kick power. So, I mean, he has actually some upside as well. So, I think we'll bring him in. Okay, and then we need to really look for a punter, because our punter is shocking. But having said that, there are no decent punters at all. I'm just wondering if Hackett's in there. Yeah, he is, Tom Hackett. What have they got him at? I'm a Utah fan, so... See, kick accuracy of Tom Hackett's only 83. His actual accuracy is outstanding. His kick power, maybe in the NFL, isn't the greatest. But, I like Tom Hackett. I think he's a good guy. So we'll sign him to the active roster, but he might not make it as a player. So, here we go. So I'm just going to go to the options. I just want to check my sliders. Gameplay sliders, because import custom sliders. Okay, there we go. Yeah, okay, so I just want to check a couple of bits and bobs. One of them is his injuries. Okay, so they brought it down because the injuries on this game is absolutely terrible. It truly is. I've been quite surprised. This is why I restarted the franchise, because when I ran the other franchise, it was just ridiculous where we're at. So, got a few people on the team. That's important. So we're going to have a look at things like finances, tickets and stuff like that. I think it's in this section. I'm sure it is. Now I think that one of the things about finances is Darrell Revis would sell shirts. Okay, and I'm going to be totally honest with you. If you want to bring money into your franchise, it is a bit of a, I say it's a cheap way of doing it, and by that I don't mean it's actually cheap. I mean that it's a bit of a cheap way to do it. But you just go right along here. If you're not sure for yourself, and what you're looking at is in the personal section, you get things like personality, production, things like that. Sort it so you have the highest personality guys. These guys are going to sell shirts. So if you sign these 4 guys here, right? We'll go back. Give you a quick rundown of how much they're going to cost you for one season. If it goes back. So you've got Mario Williams, £3 million for the season. He is going to bring money at that price. He is going to bring flat money with his shirt sales. Darrell Revis, it's going to be difficult, but you might just hit it. You might just go a little bit over and he might pay for himself. Vince Wilfork, you'll probably just get enough, and with Vincent Jackson, you'll probably just get enough as well. Bird, you might even at $2 million, you might just get enough coming through. So if you ever want to make money, a little bit of extra money, that's a good way of doing it. It can bring in a couple of $1 million just by simply searching for that thing. Okay, so now we've done that, we've brought a few people in and whatnot. We'll just do an auto sort for the moment. Just let it put it in. The only one I'm going to reorder is the quarterback position, because there's absolutely no way that Josh McCown is there's no way Josh McCown's starting as the first string quarterback. It's not happening. Okay, so we're going to do it like they are in reality. I mean, Hackenberg got so much yesterday, in the pre-season game. It looks like he's going to be second string and Petty's going to go first string. I hope to God. If McCown starts, what's the point? Okay, so everybody else is pretty much where I'd expect them to be and who I'd expect them to be. The only one I've got to do is I've got to switch over these two safeties. So I'll quickly do that now. No, I don't want to quit. My team roster. So we'll just quickly go to the free safety. So we'll go with. Let's have a look. We'll go with Thomas. So we'll just go in, change Thomas to a strong safety for this year. And then we'll take May or Maya, I don't know how they're pronouncing it. We'll take him over to the free safety position. As I say, I do this pre-season and then I can't change them again. Now that I've got them in that position for the season, I don't even like them in the depth chart. I don't even like slotting them in. This is their position now. And the reason I've put Maya over here is because he's a rookie and he needs to play, and he's got the quality above Rontez Miles to play this position, so I'm going to put him in there and have him do it. So what I'm going to do is, with the pre-season, I'm going to go through it quite quickly. Okay, so just having a look here. I'm going to upgrade the stadium concessions. Because they've fallen behind a little bit. So we're not going to renovate them, we're going to upgrade them. So it's going to cost us pretty much everything we've got in the bank at the moment. But it just makes sure that the MetLife is one of the best stadiums in the league, at least. Because we need it full. Well, as full as it can be in this season, because we're going to be absolutely terrible. It's not going to be a good season whatsoever. So we're also going to look at the financial aspect. So tickets, no, I'm not going to bother with, but the merchandise, definitely everything can come down by a slot. I hate that these horrible white versions. I don't know why they did this. They used to have real jerseys and real hats and real food in these pictures, and now there's just this ridiculous white general JPEG, and it's horrible. I don't know which bright spark at EA thought of that, but they need sacking. They need firing. It's a shockingly bad. Even the food, I mean, you look here, right? Potato chips, it's a picture of a burger with a drink. They used to have a picture of potato chip. It's a small thing, but I mean, it's the same picture in all of these things. It's ridiculous. So let's bring everything down. Just buy $1, give it a decent price so that at least people rave about it a bit. I don't know if it actually gets more bums on seats when you're talking about the price aspect of it, but it certainly can account for more sales. Unfortunately, they expect you, EA, I don't know why, but they expect you to fluctuate these like literally every game, depending on whether you win or lose, which I just think is the most ridiculous thing ever. You can't sit and go through it, and no, I'm no finance expert, but I know that if I see something a little bit cheaper, I'm going to buy it. Okay, so you've got your concessions, you've got your team revenue, and this is where you keep an eye on. The other thing you want to keep an eye on here actually is these named jerseys here and see how many sell. And you'll actually see, like I said before, you'll see how some players really sell the merchandise, and it'll actually appear in team revenue as well. You'll be able to keep a more structured overview of the total amount. So that's that done. We're going to go play the first pre-season friendly. The big decision first is I have to cut 3 players, so I can really quickly do that. Actually no, I can do it after the game. Let's do the weekly training.
An offensive and defensive game plan has been pre-select. Each week you can focus train 3 players. Once you have made your game plan and focus player decisions,
I don't want to do it on the practice field though. I just want to do the auto one.
Kick your season off by starting your first game.
It's my inexperience. It didn't do that last time. I used to be able to do it on auto.
Easily see how many players. Here are some recommendations to get you started.
Okay, so they've given me some recommendations, and to be honest with you, some of them are alright. What I'm really laughing at is there isn't one cornerback in this, which is completely ridiculous. I have about 10 cornerbacks on the team, as you'll see in a moment. So I think, in all honesty, the cornerbacks have to go. But there is a wide receiver I want to cut. See you later, Devin Smith. So we're going to save £1.1 million on Devin Smith. Oh no, we can't, because he's out and out. He's got a ACL tear. Dang it. Okay, so I'm going to put him on IR so we at least get his money. Okay, so here we go with the cornerbacks. So we're going to cut Jones, I think. No, Jones actually, he's quite fast, so we'll keep him around for a bit of training camp. So the best thing to do is cut guys with who are not going to cost you anything to cut. I thought they've all actually got pretty good speed, them ones. So we're going to say goodbye to Marcus Williams. See you later, Marcus. We've freed up about £2 million in I think we're going to say goodbye to Corey White, because 69 awareness, and I don't think he's going to cut it as a first string corner. I don't think. Let's have a look. Claiborne, Screen White. 99. No, I'm definitely going to cut him. Okay, so there's my first 2 cuts. So I've saved about $3 million in those cuts. As I said, this is pre-season, so we're just going to play the pre-season game through by advancing the week.
Now let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team.
No, better not. Right. So, what I really want to do now is going up to the manager. I want to go to the coach, and I want to edit our scheme. So, let's have a look. So I want to go to 3-4. So actually, I'm going to use for this. I'll use the New England book for the defense. We want a balanced offense, defensive, attacking 3-4. Yeah, can go with that. Pocket passer. You want a speed back, power back? Can't remember now. Who's a power back? Blocking fullback, because that fullback's absolutely shocking. We'll go with that. See, this is where you've got to go speed, balanced, tight end receiver. Okay, nose tackle. Versatile. We're going to change that to versatile. Okay, tackler, pass rusher. We'll go with man coverage. Okay, so accuracy. We're going to go for accuracy on these because we know they both suck. So that's the best thing to do. So just one thing I want to try and do here in the options, team settings, game options. Well, it's not game options, I'm thinking. League settings. All pro, normal, simulation, trade deadline on, okay. Auto, manual, auto, manual, off, progress players, automatic, full roster off. Okay, so just to make a few changes there. Okay, so it's wanting me to learn by improving the team, but we really don't want to. Improving the team in that way is not the way we're looking to do it at the moment. So how I'm going to do it is I am going to look for team improvements, but I'm mainly looking for players who've maybe been cut, where we can take advantage of that player who's been cut. So and if we have any big names at the end of the season like Darrell Reeves, we might take them on to see if we can save some money. But to be honest with you, we don't want to be carrying any high-paid players if we're going to have a bad year. And that's just the truth. Because if we're having a bad year, carrying high-paid players is just not going to cut it. It's not going to cut it at all. So, we have to think about that. We really do. If we know that we're not going to be good, we might as well just cut our losses and try and make some money so that we've got more to spend in the rest of the season. So we won our pre-season opener, sod's law, doesn't ever happen. I'm going to tell you, it absolutely doesn't. So if you've seen the Jets this pre-season, you totally understand what I'm talking about. So simulate training. Oh no, we're not advanced week. Next week. Okay, so we're 1-1. That's more like it. Some serious suckage. Right. So just make sure nobody's been seriously injured. No, Devin Smith's the one injury. Auto subs. I should change the auto subs actually. Is there an ability to maybe this came automatically with the sliders actually. I tried to get some seriously good sliders that at least make it a little bit better. Okay, so we're 1-1. Let's advance the week again. Okay, so today we need to make the big cuts. 22 players need to be cut today. We can play the pre-season game, or simulate the pre-season game. So for example, no actually we can't there. We're going to play through that final pre-season game and then we're going to make the big cuts. Let's have a look at the roster. I hope it didn't do an automatic cut, which I have a feeling it might have. Yeah, it did. It did an automatic cull for us, so that's a shame. I really didn't want to do that. I wanted to concentrate on the players I wanted to cut, but we'll go with it for the time being. We'll go with it. So, just see if anybody made it in as the tie end that I wanted. Yeah, looks like mine. Brandon, Slada. Did they cut a... No, it kept all the centres, okay. So I'm going to cut Johnson because we're going to save £2 million. On him because I think Harrison can do the job. I'm going to cut the two, we've got the two right guards. Okay. I'm going to make a decision on one of these two. Because I'm going to try and bring in a decent centre who can... Oh no, actually, we'll give him the shot there. Left end, right end, D tackle. Okay, left outside linebacker. Middle linebacker. Okay, we've got 4 decent middle linebackers here. Demario Davis, Bruce Carter, Darnley. Okay, so they're not too bad. Outside linebacker, cornerback. It's pretty much the cornerbacks I was expecting, to be honest. Free safety, Meyer and Miles. Okay, that's what I wanted. And Adams and Thomas. Okay, so I should have made the cuts myself, but I think you should be able to do that after you've played the game. I'll have to consider that in the future. So unfortunately we lost Hackett. He went. Costanzo. And Edwards got the kicker and the punter job, so I brought in Nugent, I think. So we've got one space in the team. One little spot. Is there anybody we can bring in who's going to help us improve in any way whatsoever? I think the answer is a resounding no. So all those other free agent guys got picked up. Darrell Reeves, all them lot get picked up, and this is where I think this game kind of lets it down. Oh no, Robert Griffin's still out there. So I don't know whether I should take him in under my wing just to see if we can get anything out of him, basically. No, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to go with what we've done. I'm going to go with what we've got. And that's how we're going to do it. So let's have a look. So team match. So before we start the season, let's just have a look at team value. Okay, so you can see we're 22nd in the league in value. That's terrible considering the stadium we have. 11th in fan happiness, that can't be true. 26th in team success, that's certainly true. 14th popularity, certainly not. 16th in tap. 5th best stadium in the country. 1st in concessions, 10th in merchandise, and 1st in tickets. So that marker there, concessions, merchandise and ticket, you need to adjust your prices till you're hitting number 1 in that. Okay, that's how you're going to make money, by hitting those things. The stadium should you should try and have the best stadium if you can, but if you don't worry about it. I've yet to actually look into whether having a great stadium truly helps you when it comes to ticket price and stuff. I'm sure it does, but the trade-off with upgrading and making the stadium better, I just don't know whether it's there, to be honest, because I don't think so this is the part I wanted to have a look at, because we have a scout here, okay, Mr. Christian Jarrett, level 13, okay. That for me, let's have a look. Available staff and coaches. Got a level 29 QB overall. That's what we're looking to take in the draft. So I'm here to say that Mr. Garrett, you're done. Okay. And this scout's going to come in because we need a QB scout, basically, because that's what we're looking for this season. So I'm going to give him 3 years, and I'm going to offer him $200,000 to take it, and he's accepted it. Okay. Trainer, world class, level 30. Oh no, that's the available one. My staff. Where's my stuff? That's good. Regression world class. Okay, my stuff. So we're gonna sack this dude. See you later, Kenio. And we're gonna bring in the available guy, which is Winters, because he's world class. So, and he's doesn't actually say age or anything. So Winters, we're gonna try and get him for as long as possible because he looks really good. So, coaches. So this is the one we really want to have a look at. My staff, offense balance, defensive, attacking 3-4. Okay, that's what I'm playing. So he's actually all right on that side of the ball. So I'm going to give Todd 1 more year, and I'm obviously don't really want to change. I don't really want to change the guy halfway through the season. But next year there's going to be some names out there, so you want to make sure. But the coach and the trainer, I think, is really important to change if possible, and have the best guys in place, basically, so that when that draft comes around, I know that I've got the scout that I want in place. Okay, so we're going to go to the first game. It's going to be at Buffalo at Ralph Wilson Stadium. I can't remember which one I have to actually select here. Can't remember if it's this one or the other one. We'll find out. It's the best time of the year to make a mistake, isn't it? First game of the season, so. $50 minutes to get into the first game. Sorry about that. But at least I'm trying to explain to you those decisions as to why I do that. I can probably actually cut this video down and make it a little bit shorter.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. Opening week in the NFL is an exciting time for everybody, including these two teams here today. It's the Jets going up against the Bills. With that, let's call in our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis, with this opening week matchup.
From the home of the Bills since 1973, there's a look at the newly named New Era Field just outside of Buffalo, New York. A few moments ago, to the delight of this Buffalo crowd, it was the Bills racing out of the tunnel as they get set to match up with the New York Jets. Welcome, everyone, to another season of coverage on EA Sports. Brandon Godden, Charles Davis with you. And, Charles, you look at these two teams, the Jets 5-11 last year, Bills 7-9, both clearly still looking up at the Patriots in the AFC East and increasingly looking up at the Dolphins as well.
Yeah, and you have to remember the Dolphins improved themselves significantly in the offseason, both in free agency and in the draft, and had a strong finish and went to the playoffs in 2000.
Yeah, they did.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
2nd down and just 1. They'll run it now out of the gun.
Oh, nice.
Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
That was an example of excellent defense there. They stopped him. So now he brings up a 3rd down situation. If I'm calling plays here, I make sure I put in the hands of my quarterback and get it to a receiver real fast. I'm not running the ball here.
Taylor to Watkins there. The Bills convert on 3rd.
Brandon, the talent is undeniable, but the big key is keeping him on the field. He's missed a
See, one of the things I did want to do, if it's possible,
lot of games in his career.
Yeah, he missed 11 of them the last 2 seasons, did Sammy Watkins. Last season, only 28 catches and just 2 touchdowns.
A healthy Sammy Watkins makes Buffalo a lot better.
Now a play fake here on 1st down.
Oh, he's wide open.
DeAndre Holmes. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense out.
It's Taylor.
Oh, he got him. Beautiful. But the play action never works.
They got him for a sack. Jordan Jenkins coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
A blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack.
Okay, so the reason I've come out is because I wanted to see if I could okay, I wanted to see if I could actually change one of the things, but it doesn't matter.
Taylor.
He's just got way too much time. This is why
and he's going to drop
I've
this
got
off
to
to
have
his
a look at
fullback.
those sliders
Takes it
in
down to
the
the 13
ability
and
of
picks
the
up the
defensive lineman,
first.
because I'm going to be honest, in this game, these guys these linemen just cannot shed their tackles, and it doesn't work like that in reality. These are elite linemen, they would absolutely shed their tackles within 3 seconds at the most, and in this game they constantly just get held in the clutch, and they just can't escape it. And I've noticed that even when you're playing on defense, if you don't get the button press perfect, you're just stuck to your man. It's ridiculous. You need to make some type of stamina thing where you
and they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
You can push through.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and
make plays. See how they're all stuck to their man? There's just nobody even breaking it. Not even breaking it.
Charles Clay, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Bills take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Excellent start there. First drive of the season. Big-time success, putting it in the end zone.
And remember, that was done without any real map of how to do it. In other words, the deeper you get into the season, you get game film to work off of, tendencies to work off of. The first drive of the season, things can be entirely different than what you've seen in the past. It's a really good job of execution by them.
And he puts it through. Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. On the return, it's Jalen Marshall. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by their quarterback, a prolific passer in his days at Baylor. It's Bryce Petty.
I was able to see his first start in the NFL against the Rams with the Jets. Not a bunch to write home about in terms of total numbers, but a big right arm, loves to throw the deep ball, especially towards the sidelines.
That's a good start. So you'll notice how he managed to get past the D-line, no problem, but my players don't.
A loss of 2 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12. Petty now. Got an open man, it's a new one. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
No way. Way away.
Incomplete.
As you and I know from visiting a lot of camps, no one practices this type of a start, do they?
Especially not on the road. You give up the touchdown on the opening drive. Now there's likely a 3-and-out on your first possession.
Yeah, you throw that incompletion there. You hate to fall into a hole early, especially on the road. Got to be careful.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. These Bills, Charles, as you look back to last year, got off to a pretty good start. Put together a 4-game winning streak early in the year, including that 16-0 shutout of the Patriots. But last 10 games, 3-7.
And they expect that to change in 2017 because they made a change in leadership. Remember, Sean McDermott, a defensive coordinator in Carolina, is now the head coach of the Bills. And he's going to emphasize being able to finish stronger down the stretch. And they added Tre'Davious White, a cornerback out of LSU, to take the place of the departed Stephon Gilmore.
Charles Clay is tight in the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Come on, let's go!
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, twisting away. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
To throw is Taylor on third down. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Jordan Jenkins in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Here's Colton Schmidt now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Let's take it inside his own 40. It'll be a 48-yard punt. 5 there on the return. And the Jets take possession. The Jets making their way out. It's been a while since we've seen them in the postseason, back in 2010. But last year, Charles, 5-11, and some of the moves they made in the offseason suggest maybe this year could be a challenge as well.
I believe those moves you referred to were made to change the attitude, the atmosphere on the team, because they went into the draft and they got a couple of key guys that they've been counting on. Jamal Adams, a safety out of LSU. Marcus May, a safety out of Florida. They got younger, but they got more athletic back there. The tough part for them, still not solidified at the quarterback position.
So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
They'll run with Forte. And now running right through it. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards.
All right, I've got to be careful here, all right? He's on the plus side of 30. There may be a little gray in the beard, but that's not slowing down his speed as far as he's concerned.
What are you saying? I'm on the plus side of 30.
Well, if you're on the plus side of 30, you don't know what I'm on the plus side of. All I know is that run right there, let us know there's still some life in those legs.
Absolutely. Still got a lot of life left in those legs. Here's Patty. And he whips that one incomplete there. The intended target, the tight end, Austin Safarian-Jenkins. And it's second down. And we take a look now at the New York offense.
The struggles of the New York Jets offense in 2016 were well documented. They struggled to run it, struggled to throw it. A lot of that because of inconsistent quarterback play. A big reason why they ended up 26 overall in offense in the NFL and went from 10-6 in 2015 to 5-11 in 2016.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. His throw caught at about the 5. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal. Enunwa was the Jets' second leading receiver last year, had 58 catches, only one behind Brandon Marshall, who, of course, with the Giants now.
A breakout season for him, a big-bodied guy. Many thought that he was more restricted to moving the chains. Had an ability to get downfield and make big catches as well.
They'll try to run with Forte. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Matt Forte taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Jets are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So that drive, 4 plays. And it's capped off by a Matt Forte touchdown run. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A good pickup there, a 22. So the offense has it 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. A little juke. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 12 yards that time and a Bills first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And a new set of downs here on the ground. Taylor will throw. And they can't. Falls incomplete. The intended receiver was Corey Brown. And now it's 2nd down. A little too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Let's go!
2nd and 10 now. It's Taylor. Over the middle here to Brown. A good pickup there, a 22.
To do that in the future.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks.
Purely accidental
Those guys are
that I
worth their
forget
weight
to
in
click
gold.
this button in time, and I keep on getting these videos taken down. So I'm trying to work a way of getting them because I lose them, and I don't want to lose
And
them.
he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll get to him just inside the 15. Even after the strong run we just saw, they're able to corral him quickly defensively.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And he gives this time to the tailback. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12.
Kind of settle down a
And he
bit
got
now.
half of what he needed there, 2
giving up as much
yards.
as we
And
were.
it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
That's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage,
I mean,
that's
to be
all
honest
about
with you,
plugging those
I
gaps,
want
not
to
getting a running
lose all
back a
the
crease
games
to
so
run
that I can
through.
get the first
That's a
one
nice
back,
job to
but
hold them just a couple and force a 3rd down.
prefer to be a little bit
Now a handoff here to his running
involved.
back. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point, you got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
hoping for Buffalo have
Spent
taken
the
the
last 6
lead.
years as the kicker for the Seattle Seahawks, a place where they called him house money. Now in Buffalo. Conditions somewhat similar, I would say, between Seattle and Buffalo.
Well, Seattle, you get a lot of rain. Buffalo, when the season gets a little later, you get a lot of cold weather.
Not cold weather, maybe even a little bit of snow.
Here's the Jet offense now. They head out to take over. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
The drive
That
begins
was a
with a
really
run by
good block at the
Forte.
front, but they
And
just
he'll
couldn't
get
get
this
past the
only
line.
up to about the 35. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And we take a look at the Bills' defense.
This is a defense that's always carried itself with a swagger, and one of the things they take great pride in, rushing the passer. They were 6th against the pass in 2016. Have to shore up their run defense, though. Just 29th. That's quite a surprise, considering the athletes they have on that side of the ball.
2nd down following the run.
Come on, Bryce. Let's turn this inside out.
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. Anuno's got it. Complete.
You got 7.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
That was a 7-yard game.
And they only need a little bit here. 3rd down and very short.
Don't go play action.
He'll look to throw.
That's
and
it. That's a good throw.
Jenkins. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. So 1 quarter in the books on NFL kickoff weekend. 10-7 our score, and we're back to upstate New York after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
With Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Jets in possession as we begin quarter number 2 here. And they've got it here with a 1st down. This is Forte.
Oh, that's a great
Get
hole.
this up past the 45 to the 47. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I mean, that looked like a 5-yard run. I could have worked on that.
They'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again.
Oh, he's got some good extra yards there.
Give them 12 yards there, and the Jets have a 1st.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
On 1st down, this is Forte.
Good move. Nice little juke. You got about 6 there.
Here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Computer doesn't know how to spot the ball.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on
Oh,
that
he's
one,
got
there
it.
was a little bit
He's
of
got it. Oh.
quickly at the end.
Look at him go.
And inside the
Good
20
fight.
before he's brought down.
That's what I like to see.
17 yards for the Jets there as they've got themselves a 1st down.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed,
like how
not
he
just
fought
outrunning
that.
people
It's
in the
good. It's
secondary.
good addition.
That led to a really nice gain.
Inside the red zone here. They
Oh,
look to throw. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
I know in every game we do, we talk about momentum. That was a momentum play.
That'd be a pick 6 in there. I'll see that one. I'll
There
wait
could be a
that.
letdown
No way.
because they didn't get the interception.
Yeah, you could almost hear the collective gasp on the sideline as he could not come up with that football. On 2nd down, Forte.
To the handoff,
And they're
and
going to lose some
that was
on
a
this
terrible
play.
decision
Big
to make
knockback
there.
to the 18.
But
It'll be a loss
I
of a
mean,
yard,
field goal
and that's
system,
gonna leave with
field goal
3rd and
distance, as
11.
long as he doesn't do a play
I'm
action
a little
here.
bit surprised by what we just saw there because this has been a pretty long drive. And normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, it looked like the offensive line
Stepped out
let
of
him down.
bounds, the idiot.
Yeah, allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff him
Well,
for a loss.
field goal.
A gain of 4 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And Catanzaro's kick is right
Okay,
through,
good.
and that will knot us up at 10. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
This one taken just inside the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Throwing now, Taylor on first down.
Oh, he's got a good block there. He's away.
He got 29 yards that time.
That should have been a
I like
6.
watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people have to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
The safety to come across and get that.
And he'll give it here to his running back. They're able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
So we're doing much better than them in the running game. Just not shutting down their passing game, which is totally expected. With the cornerbacks I've got, totally expected. You wouldn't expect anything less. Pretty much my whole secondary, apart from my safeties, possibly the worst in the league.
And he's going to get this.
Oh, I like how he went for the legs at the end. That was
11 yards and a Buffalo first down.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
They'll throw on first down with Taylor. Over the middle, he's got Watkins.
Nice spin move.
Down inside the 15 he goes. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time.
Some of these linebackers are going to be spending a bit of extra time in the film room on Monday.
First down because when you run a drag route against zone,
it's acceptable, that type of spin move there.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection.
Okay, we've seen enough. So if you just joined the stream, this is my Jets franchise. I don't actually control anything. I'm the owner, basically. So I make some of the decisions. What fumble? We've got it.
And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So the defense there,
Try to make the owner decisions. And, well, kind of. I play the owner general manager.
Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Reminder that
The
later
frostbite
tonight,
engine definitely makes that ball move around a bit more. It's not so sticky as it used to be.
Monday night, a doubleheader. Adrian Peterson, his first game with the Saints. He's already back in
When you used
Minnesota
to
to play
fumble,
the
it used to
Vikings.
stick
And
to the
then a
nearest guy, but
10-20
now
start on the East
it moves
Coast.
around.
It's the first game for the LA Chargers traveling to Denver.
A nice AFC West matchup.
Oh, nice one.
That's
9.
And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
So he's getting 5 yards per attempt, which isn't bad.
Game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down.
Nice play action. Oh.
And his throw here is incomplete. Parker,
That's
the
the
intended
first
target,
time
and
I've
it's third
seen
short.
play action semi work. I mean, if you noticed that everybody bit on it. Everybody bit on the running back, and then the rusher. Oh. And then the guy was rushing through actually changed his mind, changed direction, so he got it off on the back foot.
They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation.
Let's not get it in the slot. No, we don't push it through. Oh, he did have got it. Oh, no. It's 59 yards on the day, which is pretty good, so he should be able to hit 100.
So right after the defense gets you the ball on a takeaway and a fumble recovery of their own, you've got to reward them, don't you? You've got to stay out on the field, give them a chance to rest, and how about doing it the way they did it, running the football and picking it up on 3rd down.
Yeah, would not have wanted to go 3 and out. They avoid that right there.
Yeah, they avoided the glares as they went back to the bench, didn't they?
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. Following the penalty, it's Forte, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Such a good drive, just absolutely brought to a halt.
Coming up. Kind of running there at your own risk against that 4-3 and that big line, aren't you?
Yeah, and I don't really run it against a good 4-3 team that well because I've got to get those guys on the move a little bit. If you're a static running team, meaning you just want to run it in the middle, you may have some trouble against good defensive tackles. That's what we just saw on that play. No gain.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer.
It is. Hits him.
That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
I'm going to be totally honest and say I'm not happy with the way that the D-line is kind of representing this game. They've just got no aggression on them at all. They can't block. They can't shed blocks. And that's a real shame because if you build up a decent D-line, that's what they should be able to do. They should be able to monster your line. But look at them, they just say they're connected or fall. I mean, even falling over. Ridiculous. Oh, look at Stefan.
And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield. Those guys made that play possible.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And a solid run down inside the 30. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
On 2nd down, here's Taylor. Got a man, it's Brown.
And then third goal range now, it's
just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
200 yards in the day.
8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive. And once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and just like that, it's 3rd down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. Back to Buffalo after this. A reminder coming up at this and every halftime this season, we'll be checking in with Larry Ridley in Orlando for highlights and analysis of our first half.
LR, that's my man.
That's your guy.
The Jets are basically going to get a 2-minute drill.
And Hauschka's kick is good. And the Bills have come back to regain the lead. So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point, but no problems converting there.
Now after the made field goal, Hauschka back out onto the field to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's Matt Forte as he gets set to go and heads back out there. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore. Or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here?
The one thing that I've liked
Defensively,
defensively is that they've shown a lot of
because you
different
need that
looks here in
clock
the
to go
first
down.
half. They come after him, they've sat back.
You
I
shouldn't
think that's
pass
what you
it.
need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he's on to punt for New York. Oh, this is off the side of his foot. And where will this be spotted? The side judge says it went out just across midfield. Tyrod Taylor now gears up to lead his
not beyond being
again.
cut.
He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter.
Well, that's a flag because he was past the line of scrimmage, so
incomplete.
he's going to get a penalty for that.
Going the forward pass. Offense.
So they say no to the penalty. The incompletion stands. It'll be 2nd and 10.
And what they want to do is go ahead and take those downs away from them. You never want to give extra snaps to any offense. That's how you get hurt.
Let's go.
Again, now it's Taylor on 2nd and 10. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Sammy Watkins, the intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half.
Look at the time. This is ridiculous. The time he had to pass that with my D-line is you know, going to have to change something on this.
And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
To change
And he's
something
going
on
to
the
break our
sliders
statistician
because
Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or
there's no
keeps hitting the
excuse for that amount of
calculator. But
time.
my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
On 1st down, it's Taylor. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. As they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1.
There's just no way he would have had that time in reality. I'm going to have a look at those sliders and maybe change. Hopefully
so they complete the pass and now they face a 2nd down.
a shed blocking slider. Because giving somebody 8 or 9 seconds
Again,
of
it's
the ball
Taylor.
just isn't, it isn't putting it.
And it's incomplete. He was looking for Charles Clay as tight end, and it's 3rd
And
and
if I'm honest, I
5.
think both teams have had
Sometimes
a
the
couple
coverage
of
is
them
so
in the
good,
game.
no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake
He's going to get
anyone
3
free.
points now, where
They try their
Drew Brees
best to
should have
find
just been out of the
someone
game
open, but
completely.
they took away every passing alley,
And not
every
even get a
angle,
touchdown.
and shut the play down.
And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. Taylor will throw again, and that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo.
So 10 points for nothing.
Charles Clay,
10
already his
points.
second touchdown
Well
here this opening weekend. And the Bills will extend their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
And the Jets set to take the
Yeah,
field.
we should probably
And
turn
what do
this
you think
over and
goes
give
on
them
here in
another
this
field goal
situation? If
chance.
you got the football, you're trailing.
Because
You're
he should
back
be
in your own
needing this.
territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
He should be playing
Thinking
for
about
anything.
jump-starting your team,
Let alone a
right?
pass
You
play.
just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Forte.
Oof.
And he'll work his way across
Shoulder
the 30 to
him
the
now.
32. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds
We're trying
remaining
to play
here
for
in the
this. There's
second
nothing
quarter.
to play for. They're on their own 32. There is nothing to play for here.
The Jets on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll drop the throw. They're able to locate Wilson. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts, as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. On 1st down, he'll drop the throw.
Oh,
Got his man,
he's done it.
Robbie Anderson.
I cannot believe they've just gone and done that.
Touchdown, New York. Robbie
We
Anderson.
totally caught them
As the
flat-footed.
first half is winding down, and the Jets are able to make this a close game again.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing,
Open
don't they?
mouth
Doesn't
at
matter
that.
whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series,
He just
whatever.
completely
But
caught
they're
them
finishing the first
flat-footed.
half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. Catanzaro now for the extra point. It's up and good, and the lead's now down to 3 at 20-17. Catanzaro
Squib
out
kick
now
here.
as he'll kick this
Surely.
one away.
No, deep kick.
This is taken near the 13. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
Like the ref trying to get in on the block.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get this up to about the 40. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend, as we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. Let's take a look back at the first half. The Bills are up right now and are looking to keep up the pressure moving forward. The Jets won't panic either. They know they just need to take it one play at a time. All right, let's get straight to it. Here's some highlights from the first half.
Just look at their passing yardage. It's unbelievable.
Bills have the football early in the first. Holmes is wide open, able to make the grab, and he'll be tackled at the 26-yard line. Bills now later on the drive. Taylor hooks up with his veteran tight end, Charles Clay. And this will go for a touch. The Bills up by a touchdown. Midway through the first quarter, Forte's got it off the left side here. And a quick 3-play drive ends with a score. We're brand new at 7. First and 10. On the run, the ball comes loose. Bills have it late in the second. Clay's wide open, able to make the grab. And he'll be tackled at the 21-yard line. Staying late in the second. Taylor's going to find his mark, and it ends up working for a touchdown, pushing the lead to 10. Still late in the first half. Anderson's got nobody around him on the catch, and this 4-play drive goes for a touchdown. The Jets now down by just 3.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. This will be taken about the 12. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Jets offense now works their way back onto the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think...
And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Ryan Davis. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility, the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles are usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Before they even played it.
It's a lot of contact going on there. And in the end, unable to keep two hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything pretty good until the finish. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw.
Oh, he did.
Found his target.
It's Anderson again.
A good pickup there, 26 yards.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
He's going to get sacked.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Ryan Davis in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
And that's the second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
I might have to look at my scheme, actually.
Now a run with Forte. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. Nothing there, no gain, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 15.
Well, he was stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
He'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, plain and simple, that's the second time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off? He's got thrown off. He's got to wake up.
Let me just have a look at some oh, none of that I don't mind, but okay, that needs to maybe go up slightly higher because we haven't even had players limp off yet. Don't want audibles. Guess I'm just gonna super sim.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now, as he'll
allow
punt it
me
away
to,
for the 4th time today.
Oh yeah, it is. What am I doing? You can do it. You can super sim by going fast.
And now a high kick here as they'll try to cover this one. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points.
Right, so speed slow, speed fast, jump forward, and the game.
On the NFL scoreboard, they've gone to the 4th in Cincinnati, and the Ravens have wound up winning.
So we lost. Okay, so I'm gonna look at it. Okay, this is what I don't like to see too much of. Tyrod Taylor with Tyrod Taylor with a 112.7. It's a bit too good. Okay, now I'm admitting that my plays are pretty bad, but Tyrod Taylor is not a 112 quarterback. So that's something I'm maybe going to have a look at. Each quarterback threw an interception. I mean, these statistics, the completion rates, the touchdown, the interceptions, those I'm okay with. It's just the overall yards. So maybe I need to adjust the amount of minutes in the game. When we got rushing, okay, thought it got over 100 yards. That's possible because I did want to push it towards the run, but then they also got 100 yards. Okay, everybody's brilliantly going over 4.3. I mean, Banyard, I don't know how great he is as a running back, but even this guy Williams, Talbot, got 5 yards on his run, so that tells me maybe there's something just in there that isn't quite right on that slider. The passing yards are pretty average. I mean, Philly Brown, he's a wide receiver. Watkins and Unlucky, and Wilson, Holmes. They all did well, but what's the Brown, Watkins, Clay? Okay. Robbie Anderson's 3 massive challenges, but having said that, I don't really know much about that guy, but he's huge, so he has got the height into his advantage. But you got like Antonio Holmes there, 2 catches for 63 yards. So when you look on the average per catch, quite a few people averaged only over 20 yards a catch, which I'm going to be honest with you, that's not acceptable. Over 20 yards a catch. You know, that one's a bit different because there was a huge run after the catch, so I'll kind of get that, but in the average after catch, there's only one with 11, so maybe it wasn't so bad. Blocking. Okay, so here we go. Sacks allowed. They had 2 sacks allowed, and we had 2 sacks allowed, I think. Should be someone. Yeah, Beecham. Right tackle. Got my eye on him. Defensive. Okay, sacks. Jordan Jenkins got 3. I mean, this is where I think, if I'm going to be honest with you, a right end getting a sack makes perfect sense. A left outside linebacker getting a sack all the time. No, this should have gone down to one of my linemen. my linemen should be getting sacks. There's no doubt about that. So that's what I have to look at. Kicking was alright. Punting was pretty much alright. So expected loss. Not too bothered about it. It's not the be all and end all. Auto upgrades. Okay. So let's just have a look at these sliders. CPU skills, so let's have a look at this. QB accuracy, I said it felt a little bit off, so I'm going to bring it down just slightly. Pass blocking, I'll be honest with you, run blocking seems to be alright. I'm going to bring it down to 41, but the pass blocking I'm going to bring down to 35. Okay. Wide receiver catching seems alright. Pass defense reaction time, okay. Pass coverage 95 seems to be alright. And tackling, okay, so that seems to be alright. I'm going to put the injuries up just slightly. Fatigue. Maybe up a little bit. Maybe they need to go up a little bit as well. I'm going to have a look at all these things because some of them are set just to medium. And I don't know whether that's the best to have them set to. Okay, league settings. So I'm going to change the time. I'm going to take it down to 12 minutes, and maybe that'll just that should just about make it alright. Okay, so the only thing I want to have a look at is the XP sliders. If there's an age thing, no, there isn't. So I'm not going to even bother with that one. So league settings, team settings. What was the team settings? Okay. Play sliders. Okay. These are teams. Okay, so right, so that was the first game with this Jets team, and it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. We really have to keep an eye on Beecham. He gave up 2 sacks way too easily, and I know he's got a lot big shoes to fill in that position. DeBrickashaw Ferguson was lining that position for a long time. But you know, these are the positions, I'm going to be honest with you, centre, left tackle, wide receiver 1 and quarterback are just, and even halfback or running back are the positions that have to be good. They have to be good. There's no space for them to be bad, in my opinion. There's absolutely no space for it at all. On defense, you know, we were pretty bad. We sucked, basically. And we sucked all the way to the bank. But yeah, those guys on defenses weren't really getting. Actually, that's one of the things I want to look at in sliders. I know I just looked at it, so I should have seen it, but it's the defensive sliders I wanted to have a look at. Oh, there isn't really defensive sliders. See, I've made just a couple of changes to quarterback accuracy in the pass blocking and the run blocking. I'm hoping that if I just bring them down little by little each game, I'll see more of a correct view of it, if you will. And we'll see. So that's going to be the end of my stream for today, and we'll see you the next one for the Raiders. Okay, so it'll be at the Raiders. No home games yet, so we can't start looking at that money. Although we can actually quickly before I go. Well, actually, I won't do that with you here. That would be unfair. I'm going to do it myself. So, have a good night, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are, and see you later.